Powered by Riverside FM.
Running again, crushing my brain with the candlelight. Losing my breath, losing myself, dreams are out of sight. Stop struggling against my demons. Stop thinking life as fiction. Let it burn, burn, burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself. And burn it all again. It's the right time to escape these gates.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest, and I'm very excited for this one. Go ahead and introduce yourself. How are you today? Doing good, doing good. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
What do you want to know? There's a lot about me.
How did you get into the fitness world?
When I was in my 20s, my husband introduced me a little bit to it, and then kind of off and on, I would work out and then kind of jump in and out of it. And then after my second son was born, I gained quite a bit of weight. I was really not that much, but for me, it was a lot on my 5'2" frame. And I started going to the gym, and I was just taking like group fitness classes, and I hired a trainer, and she told me I should try to compete. Apparently she thought I had the nice frame for it. So I always had like an athletic look to me. Like I had, kind of muscular arms and stuff. So I never even knew what really bodybuilding was until then. I was like 35, so I started kind of late in life.
So as far as what it takes to become, like a fitness expert, or like a sort of, I guess, like a bodybuilder, to get the type of physique that you have, I would imagine that's quite a bit of work to put in on a weekly basis.
It's a lot of work. It's like a full-time job, really, for me.
So what does your training look like?
It kind of changes. It's pretty consistent. Every day I'm there about 2 to 3 hours between my cardio, and it depends on whether it's my off season or my prep. So like I'm prepping for a competition right now, and I do about an hour and a half of cardio a day, and then that's on the Stairmaster, and then I work out around an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. Sorry, my cat is driving me crazy. She wants to get in on it too. And I lift pretty heavy regardless of whether I'm trying to grow or lose weight, whatever. It doesn't matter. I lift as heavy as I can, lots of volume, like 20 to 30 reps sometimes. Just try to kill it.
Right. So, I've talked to a few people who are in the IFBB? And it seems like, of course, everybody's a little bit different when it comes to training and nutrition, and, as far as the way that your frame is. But when it comes down to the nutritional aspect, do you find that protein is a huge aspect in building muscle?
Sure. I eat a lot of protein. A lot of people tend to not eat very much protein, and then they're not seeing the results that they want, and that's a lot of it. So I eat about 200 grams of protein a day. Mm-hmm.
Wow. But I guess, to maintain the physique or to build more muscle, you would almost have to.
Yeah. Carbohydrates are pretty important too for building.
I've heard that. Yeah, kind of like, I guess, for fuel, so to speak.
Yeah, especially around your workouts, like a good pre and post workout protocol is pretty important. So for energy and yeah.
So as far as competitions go, what competitions have you been in? And do you have any that kind of stand out as a favorite?
So I started, the first one I did was in Utah in 2016, very first show I did. Wasn't very many people in that, and I didn't look really as good as, you know, I would like to. I mean, it was my first competition. That's okay. I felt great. I was on top of the world. So, and then they told me I needed to put on more mass in my upper body, which at that time I looked like a wellness competitor, but they didn't have wellness class back then. You know, I just had giant legs and no upper body. So I took a couple of years and I just grew my back and shoulders a little bit. And in 2019, I finally competed again, and I competed in Denver. And that's the one that sticks out to me because I won the overall, and it was like the best feeling in the world, you know, to win that overall title. 2 weeks later, I went to Miami Nationals and didn't place very well there. But that's okay. I was just so happy to be even on a national stage, but I had the worst stage fright ever going out there in front of that many people. And it was so scary, but I don't know. It was, so that was an interesting one for me. It was just such a big stage. And then, but I've been competing it. Then the next year, I think it was, I went to North Americans, and that was during COVID. That one was interesting. They all kind of stick out for different reasons. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that one was interesting because we had to do it in a tent, and everybody had been prepping for so long because all the shows kept getting put off for so long. Put off. And I was originally going to compete at USA's too, so I'd been prepping for a long time. So by the time everybody got there, they were really shredded. So everybody brought their A game to that show. And yeah, we were in tents, and it was raining, and we were trying to get over to the tent without screwing up our tans. And yeah, it was kind of a mess, but I was pretty proud of that one because there was a lot of competitors there, surprisingly. And I placed fourth in that one. So I didn't do too bad for that many competitors. And then, yeah, so that's the last one I did, and I'm getting ready to do North Americans again. So fingers crossed.
Very cool. Definitely. So are there any competitions that you haven't done that you want to do?
Yeah, but I have to get my pro card first. So the one that I really, really want to compete in is the Wings of Strength Bodybuilding Championship. So, but obviously you have to get your pro card, and you know, I want to compete with all the women bodybuilders there. So that's like my biggest goal.
So how does one get a pro card?
That's what I'm going for. So you have to place first at a national show to get your pro card. So hopefully.
So definitely a lot of hard work in that.
So hopefully this is the time. Fingers
hopefully
crossed.
So, yeah. It sounds like you've been working really hard trying to get there, which is great. I hope you get there.
I hope so.
One of the other things I like to ask people is, do you have a person or persons in the fitness world that you may have looked up to at some point?
There's been a few. A lot of them are just women bodybuilders. One of them would be Pat Goslin, just because I saw her on Instagram and everything, and when I competed in Miami, she actually, I had commented on something of hers on Instagram, and she said it was something about the nationals. I don't even remember what it was, but she said that she would be in Miami and to message her. And I thought that was really sweet. Like, wow, you'd really meet with me. So, she actually met with me in Miami, and then we ended up going to a pool party together, and she'd given me a lot of advice, and she's been a good friend of mine ever since. So that's one person I look up to, because not just because of her physique and how shredded she could get, but because of how humble she is and genuine she is. That's important to me. So
Definitely. Kind of, remembering where you came from, and, just being a down-to-earth type of person in anything, especially with what you all do, is I would imagine very important, because, you have a lot of people that look up to you.
Yeah, and you kind of forget that too sometimes. Like, you're always, I think we all kind of nitpick ourselves, I know I'm in bodybuilding, like, all we do is just, I'm not lean enough, I'm not big enough, I'm not strong enough, whatever it is. And you forget that there's people that would like to look the way you look. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, you just don't even think about the fact that there's people watching you. So. Yeah,
and I can only imagine what it's like to go to a competition like that and be in front of all those eyes, and just to have that pressure of trying to be the best version that you can be.
Yeah. I don't know why we do it, but we must be crazy, I guess. Hey, let me go be judged up here in front of all these people. Thick skin, I guess.
But I think, and I think no matter, whether it's in the public eye or whether, you're working at, Walmart or something like that, I think that's just like a genuine human emotion that, most people deal with.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just being in that really public eye, I would imagine, especially the first couple times out, would be kind of nerve-wracking.
I was shaking like a leaf the first couple shows, that's for sure.
But I can imagine, doing what you guys do and being able to do that, and being able to say that you were here, and, that also, I would imagine, on top of that, would be a good feeling once you're done with the competition, no matter where you place.
It is. And you just want to make sure that you're bringing a better package every time you go, and you have to be proud regardless of how you place. You have to remember that, you worked hard to get there, and you have to be proud of how much you accomplished to get there. And every time you should be bringing a better package regardless. I grew this, I grew that, or whatever. I got leaner. I mean, I know this time I've grown a lot compared to my last show. So regardless of what happens, I'm like, hey, I got bigger, and so whatever.
And something else I'm always intrigued by when I talk to people that are in the competitions that you do is, I've heard from several people that the camaraderie is just off the charts.
It is. That's one of my favorite things about the sport, is the friends that I've made. And you go and you'd think it would be super competitive, but it's not at all. Like, you go and everybody is hugging each other and we're just laughing together and you make so many friends. It's amazing. Just everybody supports each other. I've had women let me use their bathrooms to do, change my suit or whatever. They just, oh my gosh, come in here, and they'll help you with your posing or whatever, anything. It's just, everybody's there for each other. So,
and see, I find that amazing because in this day and age, you don't really find that a whole lot. And to be able to lean on somebody you're competing against and them help you out, even if it's the minute, thing is something that's just, I think as a society we're missing, just helping our fellow man in general.
And I think with women a lot too, especially because women, they talk about how catty women are and everything. But, when it comes to this sport, we're actually really empowering with each other. So it's kind of cool.
I just, I think it's amazing that you guys are able to do what you do. And I think it's the coolest thing that I've seen in a long time. I mean, I'm new to this whole area as far as I'm still learning about it, but just the type of stuff that I've heard and the work that goes into it. I mean, it's uncanny. I mean, it's one of those things that I really haven't seen anything that can compare to it. I just think it's great.
Appreciate it. We need all the support we can get.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. And in this day and age, it's definitely a lot of hard work from, what I've heard, and to be successful and then have that circle of people that is always there to help pick you up if you need it. And for what you guys are doing just on the, the women aspect of it, it's off the charts, and I hope to see more like it, for sure.
I would like to see more.
So, I know I found you on, I think it was Instagram. What other social media platforms are you on?
Just Facebook. I'm kind of old school. I don't really use, I need to learn how to use the other things. Like, I have a TikTok, but I don't really know how to use it. I'm not very smart with all the technological stuff. So yeah, I'm still learning how to use it. So.
Gotcha. I'm the same way. I don't know how to use TikTok, but I can
watch the videos. I just don't know how to create them.
Right. So, do you have any other competitions that you're planning on doing other than the one you're preparing for now?
It just, not really. It just depends on what happens there. So if I don't get my pro card, then I'll probably go on to another national show. There's a couple of them. There's like Olympia Amateur coming up in December. So I might just do that, or Masters Nationals or something like that in November. But if I do get my pro card, I don't know. I'll have to talk to my coach and see if he thinks I need to take some time off and grow a little bit, or if I should just plan on a pro show. So I don't know. I got to find out. Yeah,
definitely.
So.
Well, I wish y'all the best of luck, and I'll be looking out for it on Instagram to see what kind of stuff we can see.
You.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with me.
No